家庭連合を絶対に潰してはいけません。なぜなら、なぜ家庭連合がメディアにこれほど叩かれているのか。それは、旧統一教会を作った文鮮明氏が共産主義と戦っていたからではないんですか。私は文鮮明氏についてはよくわかりませんが、ただ一つわかるのは、共産主義の生みの親、カール・マルクスは、私は悪魔の刻印を好みに受ける。私は全人類に悪魔の刻印を受けさせる。そして全人類を地獄に突き落とした後、笑いながらその後に続いていく。彼は本の中でそう言っています。つまり共産主義というのは悪魔教に他なりません。そしてこの悪魔教と戦うべきなのは本来キリスト教会の働きだったはずです。私は教会の牧師会の会長になった時に、キリスト教会が実におかしいということに気づき始めました。多くの教会の先生方と関わっていくうちに、多くのキリスト教会の先生方が共産党にシンパシーを感じているということに驚きました。つまり日本の多くのキリスト教会が赤く染まっているということです。だから旧統一教会が立ち上がり戦っていたのだと思います。この家庭連合を守ることは悪魔教に世界が支配されないために大切なことだと思っています。もし家庭連合が解散してしまったら、メディアに敵と思われた団体や個人は次々とレッテル貼られを貼られ、そして抹殺されていく、社会からなくなっていく。そして最後には、この日本国は天皇陛下という大祭司、日本神道の大祭司です。最後は日本国の国体、日本の国の象徴である天皇陛下にまでこの悪魔教の手は伸びると思います。今家庭連合を守り、この旧統一教会を守ることは、やがては日本の国を守ることであり、民主主義を守ることであると私は確信しています。日本の国が正常になることを心から祈っています。
ご存知のように、安倍首相が暗殺されたのをきっかけにですね、殺人をした人ではなく、その周りの人を責めるというような、そういう変な事態が起こっております。家庭平和連合の方々ともう長年お付き合いをしておりますけれども、私もですね、神様を信じるキリスト教の教会員、一会員でありますけれども、共に神様のもとに生きようとしている皆さんと共にですね、これまで一緒に活動をしてきた、お互いの交流をしてきたというところであります。国の解散命令。これはですね、もう理解に苦しみます。そしてこれをですね、対岸の火事というふうに思ってはならない。いつ私たちクリスチャンにもですね、この火の粉が待ってくるということも決してありえないことではない。もしかするとですね、これを、いや、もうあの人たちのことだから私たちは知らんというような宗教のグループもあるかとは思います。しかし、こういうことをですね、看過してはいけない。堂々と勇気を持ってですね、これに戦わなければならない。
Dear distinguished leaders, I am Pastor Paula White, President of the National Faith Advisory Board in the United States and spiritual advisor to President-elect Donald J. Trump. I'm honored to speak to you today at the International Coalition for Religious Freedom. I want to greet all the leaders and citizens of Japan and thank you for your strong support for the United States-Japan Alliance for Peace. Japan and the United States are very close and most critical allies to ensure peace in Asia and around the world. As you know, President Donald J. Trump was elected to a second term on November 5, 2024. He is the strongest advocate of religious freedom and will increase his unwavering support for religious freedom for all faiths and all people. President Trump was very close with Prime Minister Abe, who was the most courageous leader who strongly led Japan against tyranny in the world. We mourn his loss. Religious freedom is the foundation for all other freedoms. Japan is the United States' great ally, who we have the greatest appreciation for. However, concern has now been raised by prominent leaders around the world that believe Japan is not upholding its religious freedom commitment as a signer of the UN Human Rights Declaration. The United States State Department Office of International Religious Freedom, in its 2022 and 23 reports, showed serious questions that Japan, as a prominent world leader and great liberal democracy, is now violating religious freedom. Ambassador Rashad Hussain, the current U.S. State Department's ambassador at large in the Office of International Religious Freedom, noted concern about Japan in the Japan section of his 22 and 23 report. The report in 2022 stated that CAPLC, a Paris-based United Nations NGO, submitted a series of statements to the UN Human Rights Committee that said that the Unification Church in Japan had become a victim of a campaign of intolerance, discrimination, and persecution in Japan since Prime Minister Abe's assassination. The church stated its members suffered attacks, assaults, and death threats as a result of negative media attention. The 2023 report stated that Japan deviated from the norm when it decided to dissolve the Unification Church without any criminal law being broken by the church. This year, on April 30th, 24, the United Nations issued a UN mandate through its rapporteurs on religious freedom and human rights, calling into question Japan's compliance with the UN Human Rights Declaration and the International Covenant on Civil Political Rights, to which Japan is a signer. According to the UN mandate, government guidelines stating that parents who strongly urge their children to go to church could be seen as child abuse. The mandate says this is directly causing the violations and physical attacks to the members of the Jehovah's Witnesses and persecution of the Family Federation and other religions. The UN Rapporteur on Religious Freedom made a formal request to the Japanese government to visit Japan to investigate the possible violations of religious freedom against minority religions, but the nation of Japan has denied her request. This rejection of her request is listed on the United Nations website. This is raising serious concern throughout the world about religious freedom in Japan. We in the United States are concerned that the media and some in the government and the Ministry of Justice are suppressing information and not allowing the public to know about the facts. Letters were sent to Prime Minister Kishida, the foreign minister, and the court from current U.S. congressmen, former heads of state, and the former U.S. Secretary of State, as well as the former U.S. Speaker of the House. The former U.S. Secretary of State said that this could have severe implications for our vital partnership and global perception of Japan's commitment to human rights. Religious freedom scholars and experts around the world are calling on Japan to stop the violation of the Jehovah's Witness and the Family Federation, Unification Church.